What's up? Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I happen to be Khosi Itzilesi Imelo, aka Khosi, aka the brother leader. So today we are talking about a very sensitive issue. Very sensitive. It makes me wanna puke. We are talking about Click's racist advert. Have you seen it? If you haven't seen it, take a look. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. These are the issues that we face every single day here in Africa and elsewhere, everywhere across the world. We have here one of the biggest retailers in South Africa putting up an ad like this, deeming African hair damaged and white hair or white people's hair or European hair normal. And in fact, it makes me really angry, because we have a situation where European hair is referred to as hair and our hair is referred to as African hair or black hair. So there's hair and there's African hair. This is what makes me angry. I don't know if you guys remember back then, in fact very few months ago or a couple of years ago, it was even last year, the thing on Google, where when you Google good mother is white woman, a bad mother is black woman, professional hair is white people. In fact, when you go straight into say professional women hair, it's white women, and you say unprofessional hair, and then it's black women. This is the discrimination that we suffer every single day in this world. We don't even want to talk about what is happening elsewhere, what is happening in other country, because there's so much systematic racism in this world against a black child. But let's talk about what happened at Clicks. They put out an ad and they apologized. Sorry, you managed to see our racist behavior. Next time we will be racist, but we won't show you. We won't show the world, but we will be racist. You're racist. You got exposed for being arrogant about your racism, and you're apologizing for being caught being racist. You will remove the ad, is fine, but you will remain racist, and that's a fact. Apology, this apology, that. Okay, fine. We will continue to sing the late whatever man iconic to the world, just Kumbaya, hey, Africa, South Africa, whoa, what, we are one rainbow nation. But there are people who continue to this day feel a need to discriminate one another based on the color of the skin. Period. Because that is what's happening. And they are proud about it. We have seen the guy at the beach, I don't even remember his name, calling us whatever name, and the sparrow case calling us monkeys. We suffer racism every single day. And I've just seen this on Facebook. In fact, there are many others that are like this. We just don't see them. And if you don't see them, sometimes we're just tired of fighting for so it's simply issue of equality. It is unfortunate that we are people of dignity, or people of peace. So we choose to try to talk. It is unfortunate right now that what the economic freedom fighters are doing is out of anger. I'm not condoning their action, but it's unfortunate, because people are angry. People are angry. So when they go out to try to protest, and then they cannot express their frustration in an acceptable manner, I guess, and then we end up with such issues. Because people are fed up because we're talking about one thing over and over again. And then you go and find black women who say that ad did not offend me. I mean, I'm fine. It didn't offend me. I don't even like my own hair. I mean, you call yourself, I have bad hair days. Even the latter, they do have bad hair days. That is why in the morning they wash their hair, dry their hair. This is why they have salons just like us. They do too also have bad hair days. But your hair being called bad and damaged is just not acceptable. It's more than that. There's a deep meaning, a message that is conveyed to you that you are subhuman. In fact, talking about subhuman, I would like to talk about how the late Steve Bantubiko described that issue. He talked about this issue in his book, I Write What I Like. In fact, his letters. There is a letter. I'm sorry. In one of his pieces titled The Definition of Black Consciousness, and it is very important that we teach black consciousness every single day. He says here, merely by describing yourself as black, you have started on a road towards emancipation. Emancipation. You need to emancipate yourself. Psychological emancipation is what we need. He continues to say, you have committed yourself to a fight against all forces that seek to use your blackness as a stamp that marks you out as a subservient being. This is what they're trying to convey, that we are subservient beings, we are not human enough. And some old women, black women, have the audacity to say the advert did not offend them. It's fine. They have bad hair. They have bad hair days. And then you find kids like this at this very young age understanding the hatred, the racism behind discrimination of one person against their hair or color of their skin. And this young girl was fighting about the issue of the hair. But you find old people saying the Clicks advert did not offend me. There was no place for our grandmothers in this world. There was no place for our mothers in this world. And even today they continue to prove that there is no space for you in this world, and you're continuing to accept this nonsensical racism acts. There will be no place for your daughter, there will be no place for your grandchildren if you continue to act like that. You need to emancipate yourself and try to understand this issue. I made an example and said, if you call yourself, and I'm sorry to use this, if you call yourself a bad bitch, if I come to you and say, hey, bitch, will you accept that or will you feel offended? Of course you will feel offended, because the way I use the term is to degrade you, to deem you worthless and immoral. And this is the issue. You can say to yourself that you have bad, damaged hair, but no one else, especially in particular those of other race, to come to you and say you have bad hair, and in fact compare your hair to their hair and regard their hair as normal. And you accept such nonsense. You need to wake up. You need to wake up. It's disgracing, it's disappointing for women to act like that. To those who know, define racism as discrimination by a group against another for the purpose of subjugation. or maintaining subjugation. In other words, one cannot be a racist unless he has the power to subjugate. What blacks are doing is merely responding to a situation in which they find themselves the object of white racism. We are in this position in which we are because of our skin. We are collectively segregated against. What can be more logical than for us to respond as a group? It's about a black person here and elsewhere. So black women, please, and this is not in fact about black women, this is about black people. You need to wake up. I want to read something before I take this book away, something that I found very interesting, by the way. It's you know, this discrimination of hair comes a very long way. Not only is it about hair, but it's about our skin, it's about our nose, it's about our lips. And at a certain disgusting, unnecessary point about our accent when we speak their languages. Did you know that in fact in 1789, and I'm reading this here because I want to get this right for you. In 1789, in Louisiana, in the United States, there was a law that was passed that is called Tignon law. The Tignon law required the black women to use fabric to cover their hair. 1789. There was a law that says black women should cover their hair because their hair is ugly. Their hair reminds certain people that they are subhuman. That is exactly what they said. This is why, as time goes on, the slaves at the time decided to come up with plans to straighten their hair, to come up with hot combs to try to straighten their hair. And as time goes on, the big corporation invested a lot of money into artists or certain celebrities to make them look a certain way so that you and I on the ground and our children can look up to them and want to be like them and start to hate on our own hair. That's where it started. And today a grown woman can say, I love my hair like that, I don't want it like that, it's because I want to look more beautiful. It doesn't start there. It started way back when you were told that your hair is not good enough, you're not beautiful with that hair. In fact, it makes you a subservient human being. Cover it. It is the law. That's where it started. That is where it started. It is not about bad hair days. Now we ask ourselves, what then should happen? It is high time that we stop teaching our kids nonsense things and teach them about black consciousness. Books like this should be in every house. In particular, black families, to teach your children about black consciousness so that they can become proud of who they are, proud of how they look. Before we know it, they'll want to bleach your skin. Of course, there are already black people who are bleaching their skin. Ridiculous. That is what this whole ad about black hair by Clicks trying to say. It is the message they're trying to convey. And all we are asking for is to be treated equal. If you remember the late Mangaliso Robert Sobukwe, what he said is, all we're asking for is to be treated equally, fighting for a non-racial society. And he mentioned it that their fight was justified and they regret nothing about it, because had they not done nothing, they would have betrayed human race. And this is my part, to educate you, to voice out, because had I not done this, I would have betrayed human race for not raising this awareness and try to educate people about equality. We could live in harmony if we try to understand each other, respect each other, and value each other. Thank you for watching.